go here. Fourth quarter and Moody for an answer.
Moses Moody was red hot in the fourth quarter of an in-season tournament game against the Sacramento Kings. He went 4 for 4 from the field with 11 points, which included 3 three-point bombs in just 7.5 minutes, and was the hottest Warrior on the floor. The rest of the team was 2 for 17 for 8 points and couldn't buy a bucket to save their lives. It was a close game, and a win would have been huge for the Warriors, but yet, what did Warriors head coach Steve Kerr do? You'd think he'd feed the hot hand, right? And set up play after play for Moody. But that didn't happen. It was actually the complete opposite. Instead of putting the ball into Moody's hand to let him continue his hot shooting streak, Steve Kerr took him out of the game. The Warriors ended up losing that game, and all eyes turned towards Kerr because of his questionable coaching decisions. As of now, Golden State fans from around the world and the media are riled up. Some are calling for his firing. The media is questioning whether he's the right coach for this team, and make no doubt about it, Kerr's definitely in the hot seat now. It's still early in the season. The narrative could do a complete flip at any time, but as of now, it seems that the Warriors have a gigantic problem on their hands.
We thought about, keeping him out there, but, we made the move that we made.
So, if this Moses Moody substitution was a one-off thing or a pretty rare occurrence, this wouldn't be anything worth mentioning. But the problem is that situations like this are becoming more and more of a recurring theme when it comes to Steve Kerr. Here's what I mean. A few games back, there was another incident where Coach Kerr made a questionable move that ultimately led to another loss for the Warriors. You see, against the OKC Thunder in November, the Warriors were up 3 with just 1.6 seconds left on the clock. This was supposed to be a sure win for the Warriors. All they had to do was follow the inbound pass and they would have won the game. The win was on a silver platter at that point in time, and even ESPN's win rate probability calculator gave them a 94% chance to grab the W. But Kerr elected to not foul, and what happened? Chet Holmgren caught the inbound pass, turned around and shot the 3 to tie up the game, and the Thunder eventually won it in overtime. If Kerr had elected to foul when Chet's back was turned, it would have just been 2 free throws for the away team, and that would have been the ball game. Fans were again outraged and perplexed by Kerr's decision-making there. Unfortunately, the question marks don't stop there either. Another gigantic problem the Warriors are facing is Kerr's ability, or inability I should say, to develop the young players. For a prime example, last season in 2022, Moody was already starting to look solid. He was 20 years old, shooting with an effective field goal percentage of 58, and was a hustler out there on the court, attacking the glass and getting whatever loose balls he could. Steph Curry even said this of him.
Play with a lot of energy, so he puts the work in. It's not surprising ever when he comes in. When he makes contribution, you can feel his presence out there because he stays ready, he works. He comes with a great attitude.
Clearly, Moody is not just a Warrior. He has the potential to be a future cornerstone of the organization. Both on and off the court, he fits the Warriors' culture. And yet, for the majority of the year last season, Kerr opted to go with Anthony Lamb. Yeah, this guy right here. Now, I got nothing against Lamb or anything, but he was on a 2-way contract, and everybody could see from a mile away that he wasn't going to be part of the Warriors' future. Then, as per the numbers, Moody's statistics were pretty much identical with his. So, the million-dollar question was, why not allocate more of those minutes for Moody and let him develop, right? I mean, clearly from what we've seen this season, Moody has some serious potential. Well, strangely enough, the same thing just happened in that loss against the Kings. You see, Brandon Podziemski was a complete rock star just a short while ago, electrifying Chase Center with big plays and almost winning the game for Golden State in that matchup against the Timberwolves. Steve Kerr was raving about him at the time, and as per Anthony Slater, the Warriors head coach said, he's going to play every night, he's earned it, he connects the game. Well, what just happened right before our very eyes? With both Chris Paul and Gary Payton suffering injuries mid-game, the Warriors were playing shorthanded at the guard position. At that point, Coach Kerr had a decision to make, and guess what he did? He put in Corey frickin' Joseph. Yeah, that's right. Now, again, I have nothing against Corey Joseph, but Brandon is shooting the three ball at nearly 41%, has a decent effective field goal percentage, crashes the boards, hustles for loose balls, and more importantly, he's a 20-year-old that's likely part of the Warriors' future. And yet, he got 0 minutes. How crazy is that, right? For a game where the Warriors were short-handed for guards, Brandon, the connector, got a total of 0 minutes. Are fans and the media right about Coach Kerr? Is he the right fit for Golden State? I mean, y'all remember back in Game 7 of the 2016 Finals, right? He left Festus Ezeli on the court way too long with LeBron in the fourth quarter, who was feasting on him. As a result, it led to 6 quick points in the span of like 30 seconds.
Putting him on the body of LeBron James. It's easy offense.
This blunder allowed the Cavaliers to take the lead before Kyrie eventually hit the game-winning dagger 3, costing them the perfect season where they went 73-9. Now, to be fair to Steve Kerr, all great coaches make blunders. No humans are perfect, and even the best of the best coaches in the game make mistakes. Like, take Greg Popovich as a prime example. He's up there with Phil Jackson as one of the best head coaches in NBA history. And yet, in the 2013 NBA Finals, his decision to take Tim Duncan out of the game when the Spurs needed a defensive rebound in the final seconds of Game 6, which would have clinched them the NBA championship, eventually led to Chris Bosh's rebound, Ray Allen's 3, and LeBron's second ring. And do y'all also remember T-Mac's 13 points in 33 seconds? That also came at the expense of Greg Popovich and the Spurs. So, evidently, every great coach makes mistakes, but they also make a lot of great ones, and I gotta point these out. Remember Game 4 of the 2022 NBA Finals when Steve Kerr benched Draymond Green in favor of Kevon Looney? 86-90 after 5 minutes in the fourth was where the Warriors found themselves in that pivotal Game 4. Draymond wasn't being effective, so Kerr had to make the tough decision to take out his 2017 Defensive Player of the Year, and as a result, the unit with Looney became a lot more cohesive and immediately went on an 11-4 run, which ultimately won them the game, swung the momentum of the series, and eventually won them a championship. So sure, some of the decisions Kerr has been making have been frustrating, and while I've been pulling my hair out and Warriors fans have been asking for him to get fired, and the media has been questioning if he's the right coach, I think it's important to remember 3 things. 1, it's still early in the season. The Warriors are sitting in the 11th spot right now, but they're still literally just 5.5 games behind the first seed. Kerr will get the Warriors into the playoffs for sure. 2, with Kerr, the Warriors won 4 championships, but before he arrived, they were a first-round exit. And finally, we have 3, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. If you fired Kerr, who are you going to hire? Doc Rivers, the coach who always chokes 3-1 leads?